Wagwan guys, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. I cannot complain myself. Latto is in the news, right? Basically, she's in the news for an interview. Basically, it was a good question that was posed by popular complex journalist Speedy, and basically he says, well, first things first, I think he went viral last week for a tour of it. New York City apartment, and it was like $7,000, and it wasn't even like 600 square feet. Just looking at it, the amenities and everything that you would get for $7,000 is ridiculous. And Angela Reese, I believe she went viral a few months ago, maybe even was last year, and she was talking about basically what she was paying for rent versus what she was making through her WNBA basketball check versus sponsors versus, and I think her assistant was there trying to calculate and just having a glimpse on that. These people make a lot of money, and hear them talk about the prices skyrocketing and how they deal with that is interesting. But Latto basically has an interview with Speedy, and Speedy asks her, how does it feel to be a millionaire? She basically gives a response, detailed response, but she does say that it's boring. Got the video. I'm going to play the video for you guys here in a second, and I'll react to it with you. However, just getting you caught up to Latto, what she's been doing. So basically, she's been definitely doing the magazine covers, photo shoots, going out to bands, concerts, doing that whole thing, right? Talking about Angela Reese, she was on that little McDonald's menu with her. I think Angela Reese created a burger for McDonald's, and so did Latto, if I'm not mistaken. And her music's doing well. She's putting out new music, and the new music that she's putting out is doing numbers. Most recently, she was on a stream with Tylil, and Tylil's a pretty popular streamer. He does content with Kai, and I believe he had a stream with Kevin Hart as well. That's where I remember seeing him at as well. And I think I did a video on Latto before. Yeah, I did a video on Latto before, and I believe the video was about Nicki Minaj and Ruchi Tran. I think they had some type of ongoing feud with each other. I know that she wanted to get approved for a verse, and Nicki wouldn't give her that verse, and that's where they had some tension, and they kind of fell out. Now with Ruchi, I'm not too sure if it was over music, but I think they were just going back and forth about who was popular. Not too sure what they were feuding about. However, which was so interesting is I think they were just having a feud over the new hottest artist that was coming out. And I think I remember they were talking about who had the best music and who was like basically doing the most, which is funny because after that, Ruchi kind of quieted down a whole lot, and she was most popular for dating a 1017 artist. I think his name was Freddie, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find his name right quick, guys. Fujiani, that's his name. So she dated Fujiani, but Fujiani ended up getting locked up, right? So she moved on from him. But I bring Ruchi up because they had that feud, and basically Latto kept elevating, and then the last we heard of Ruchi, I believe she had like IG Live, or she uploaded a video and she posted it to social media, and it went viral. And basically she was having a fallout with the guy that she was with, and he was basically trying to put her out of the house. And the last guy she was pretty much known with was the Fujiani guy from 1017. So I just thought that was interesting. And if you watch that video, it was like super cringy. But that's pretty much what Latto has been up to in a nutshell. And I got the video clip. Let me play the video clip. I'll come back and react to it with you guys.
Everybody in my family is a millionaire. Like, I really did that.
What does it feel like to be able to buy almost anything you want?
It's kind of boring.
Why?
I was a millionaire at 21. So it's like you grow up fast. I think I get the most like fun spoiling everybody around me now. It's boring. I don't think that's what everybody should be chasing.
What
like,
should
it's
people be
fun,
chasing?
don't get me wrong. True happiness. Because we don't have money, we chase it. Like, okay, I gotta get this money. Then when you get the money, it's like, damn, now what? You know? And I don't even have billions yet. Yeah, it just get old fast.
So I'm gonna say this. I think it's really interesting that these interviews come out and we're able to view them. Even other interviews kind of like it, like they lets you peer into your favorite celebrity or most popular celebrity artist streaming now, because it lets you kind of understand and give you a bird's eye view of their perspective on certain issues, topics, situations that you could possibly, or anybody could possibly be dealing with, but they kind of get their own take on it. Yes, we're talking about being a millionaire, but we're still talking about finances. And I think everyone has a certain degree of finances that they need to account for. Okay, I'll say that. So basically, in her response to the question she was asked, she said she was a millionaire since like 21 years old, which is pretty impressive. But her answer that she gave was that it was boring, which I think that it wasn't boring. I think that she needs to basically have a plan beyond the plan she first had to become a millionaire at the early age of 21. I think that is basically, that is the catch-22, if I can just say that. Now, I believe she's probably still passionate about rapping, maybe even the same as when she was 21 years old. But I think it's changed in time, and with that time period, it has changed a little bit. So she needs to kind of revamp, get that kind of in order, because it's not boring to be a millionaire. It's boring when you don't know what you actually want to do or what's your next step in your career path, period. Okay. And she also said that she enjoyed spoiling people, which I don't agree with. You shouldn't be spoiling anybody. You shouldn't be that frugal with your cash. You should be, every action should be feasible. It shouldn't be a wasted moment or a wasted step. It shouldn't be energy wasted when you're moving in an efficient manner. Everything is working towards an intended outcome goal, right? So I got another clip of the same video. I'm gonna play that for you guys really quickly.
Do you feel like you'll ever get to a point where you have a different perspective or a different relationship with money?
Of course I want more. Like, I want it to be like a generational thing. But I also just be like, dang, like, am I just gonna be like chasing money forever?
Maybe if you would have came into that first million later in your life, you'd have a different appreciation.
Yeah.
Because most people don't touch $1 million at 21.
Right. Like, I don't know.
You know, lastly, I think Latto's response is extremely telling, you know, and that's why I say I like these videos, because you can really pull, if you sit down, and I said this before, if you want to learn, you can learn from anybody if you're willing to listen. But then when you get, you get these videos of people who are actually out there in the world that's actually making a return on their income, it gets silly, because these are some questions that maybe you haven't been asked. These are questions now that have answers, so you can pull from source of information that you previously did not have, if you want to look that deep into it. But listen, she is saying that no, money is not everything. In fact, she thinks, is she going to be chasing money forever? Because it's a dog and pony show. It definitely is. You have to go out there. You have to have the best record. You have to, you have to be popular to a certain degree, right? To get attention. That's how the music industry works, right? And to a certain degree, you can look at the Jay-Z formula and some other famous artists in the past that kind of molded and shaped their artistry to where they're not having to put on shows every other weekend, and they make money off of royalties, or if they're going to have some type of show that they're going to put on, or whatever they're going to do. Maybe they're going to tour, right? They're going to go on a tour, and that's, you can still do those things. You can still rap, but that's not going to be your like main source of income. You're going to be doing that because you love doing that, right? I think that's important to understand, but it's other ways that and other endeavors that she can partake in so she can be able to live comfortably and not worry about being in that rat race, because it is a rat race. I got some good sayings I'm holding back right now, but it's definitely a rat race, right? And she's young. She was a millionaire by 21, so she has it down packed, and she has a good head on her shoulders. Because that's a solid answer when you really look at it. That's a solid answer. You can't get any better than that, because it's not all about money. It's about family. It's about friends. It's about in-laws, immediate family. Kids. What school district? It gets silly. You know what I'm saying? It gets silly. Okay? But, I think she had that interview, that little segment that we watched, it was jam packed, right? And you just look at Latto, right? And just think about that. A lot of people, they don't really get money that early on their own. And when you do, right, of course, it's attributed to other people. You definitely didn't get there by yourself. So I think it was interesting watching that and pulling away from that knowledge that Latto was dropping on us. But that's what I got for you guys. Like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share the video. I hope to see you guys back here again. And listen, I must have been talking too fast, because I could have swore I was saying Angel Reese, but when I listened back to it, I'm saying Angela Reese. So I want to apologize for that. But ciao, guys.